said, you know, that is the Feast of Trumpets. First thing he said, how did you pick that date? Said convenience. And he said, you know what that is? And I'm not as Jewish as he is. But he began to explain it to me. But I didn't really grasp it until Wednesday night. So I want the feasts of the Lord aren't about Old Testament or New Testament. They're about the kingdom and seasons of divine special encounter with God. And we're in the middle of one right now. And I do want George to share that because I think it's significant to what we're doing.
So first of all, Brandon, is that okay if from now on I call you Joshua? Yeah, because you are a manifestation of the Joshua generation that has been called to lead the conquest of the promised land. I will stop here, but there is a whole teaching in that. Prophetic teaching for these times and seasons. But the times and seasons are the significant thing that Barry asked me to talk about. Because the Feast of Trumpets is not well known even among the Jews. Because there is not much in the Bible about it. But through years the Lord showed me it's probably one of the most significant feasts of the Lord. And that is because it is only fulfilled in the New Testament in Christ Jesus. For them in the Old Testament it was just a day of joy and blowing trumpets, but without really knowing why. I've looked up on the internet until today, they don't know what it's for. Because its fulfillment is the words of Jesus, my sheep hear my voice. And that's about the voice of the Lord. That sounds from heaven like a trumpet. But it's also a reminder of the fall of the walls of Jericho. And it has to do with us bringing forth the sound of heaven in front of the enemy's strongholds. But before Joshua could do that in Joshua chapter 5 and then 6, he needed to receive the strategy from heaven for it. So it's true for every year this season, but this year is particularly important because it is more than just simply a new year. Obviously, I don't have the time to explain why, but here it is. We are shifting into a new cycle of 7 years and 14 years and 21 years. So this is actually the completion of the previous 7 and 14 and 21 and 28 years, launching us into something completely new. We don't even know what it looks like.
Në fakt, në këtë vit është përmbushja atyre 7, 14, 21, 28 vite që na kanë lançuar apo na kanë na kanë hedhur në diçka të re që ne nuk e dim akoma se ç'është.
It's amazing how Brandon and Barry had no clue that the timing was so significant.
Është e mahniqme se si Brandon dhe Barry nuk e kishin idenë që këto data ishin kaq të rëndësishme për kohën e Zotit.
Because this is a critical time that the king has invited us to himself,
Sepse kjo është një kohë shumë e rëndësishme, kritike që mbreti na ka thirrur tek vetja e tij.
so that his voice from heaven that sounds like a trumpet
Në mënyrë që zëri i nga qielli që i ngjan boris ose trumpetës
can give us strategy
të mund të na jap strategji
for the strongholds of the land to crumble down like Jericho did,
në mënyrë që fortesat e tokës të shkatrohen ashtu si u shkatruan në Jericho,
without which we cannot even begin the conquest of the promised land.
dhe pa këtë gjë ne nuk mund as të fillojmë që ta pushtojmë tokën e premtuar. Pa i imposhtur këto